Hey guys, how's everybody doing today? It's 10:50 a.m. on Wednesday morning, and I have been patiently awaiting this piece to come back from my good friend Nathan from Nathan Knives. He hooked me up once again. Once again, he did. He worked his magic, and well, I'm going to show you this piece in a second, but first I want to show you the first mod I did, and it's for a specific reason. When I sent this $40, now let's get this right. It's like a $40 knife to Nathan. I didn't really want all that much done to it. Well, you know, I said this, if you could make the scales, do whatever you want with the scales, that'd be fantastic. And that's the only thing we talked about, and that's the only thing I asked for. So, again, it was a $40 knife. He said, yeah, send it over, not a problem. So he went ahead and did this rock type pattern on these scales, because these scales, if you know what the range boss looks like when you get it, it's not so good. I didn't like it. I mean, it was very, very textured, very, very coarse, not very pleasing on the eye. So I reached out to him. Lo and behold, I love this knife so much, you know, it was worth doing a little mod to it. You know what I mean? Again, it was a $40 knife. Some would say, why would you mod a $40 knife? You're going to put whatever you're going to put into, you're going to put, you know, more into it than what you paid for it. But that's okay. I understand that. I don't mind that. That's what I want. That's what I envisioned. And I like this knife so much. That's what we went ahead and did. So he did the scales, and when he sent me pictures and everything, he said, you know something, I thought it needed a little something extra. So he went ahead and did this backspacer. Look at this backspacer, what he did with this backspacer, okay? He didn't only do the backspacer. Now, this wasn't talked about. This is what he did on his own. He did this backspacer for me. We'll go ahead and open up the blade. On the blade, he followed it all the way down the spine, which is just, I mean, every time I look at it, it just brings a smile to my face, okay? Not only did he do all that, but the finishing touch that he did was, he said, look at the clip. Now, if you look at the clip, the edge of that clip, he also did the edge of the clip, both sides, the same pattern. He did the both sides of the clip, which it's not probably going to show up. But it's just that little touch there that really, really set it off complete. There it goes. That really, really set it off, okay? This is something that he did not have to do, this back spine, nothing. He could have put the, he could have did the textured scales and threw this right back in the mailbox and sent it right back to me. But he didn't. He didn't. That's what you call being, a good guy, a good businessman. These are the things you have to do when you want business and you want repeat business. These are the things you go through and you do, okay? But just fantastic all the way around. And this piece here, this $40 knife, it doesn't go far from me, okay? Because I just love it that much. Action, it's all the way broke in. I just love this knife. We always have our certain pieces that we love, so this is one of those pieces that I love. That's it. So I had this, it was my fault. I was messing around one night, and this is my, my Condor Bushlore. Okay, I purchased this. It comes with just basic scales on it, flat, just wooden scales, basic wooden scales, 1075 blade, and that's what it comes with. But again, I love this knife so much. Okay, again, this was not an expensive knife. Okay, and you may be asking yourself, why are you sending him all these knives that are so expensive? Well, we'll get there. We'll get there. Eventually, we'll get there. There are pieces that I want to send to him that we've talked about. I have high-end pieces. I have pieces that are in the works right now. But I wanted to see what this one would do because I was just curious. The curiosity factor was getting to me on this 50 or 6. I think this one was like $60. This Condor Bushlore. It really is a fantastic knife, and for good reason. Bushcraft guys like these knives for good reason. They cut. They work. They are very, very good knives for what they are. I mean, for what you pay, 50 or 60 bucks, these are great knives. Again, they're 1075 carbon steel, comes with them. And I reached out to him and I asked him if he could do something just to spice it up a little bit, you know, with the scales, because they were just basic wooden scales. That's all they were. You can look it up online, the Condor Bushlore, and see what it looked like before, and then you could look at it now. I don't have any before or after pictures. Yeah, I should have did that. That would have been great, but I didn't. But it's easy enough to see what this knife looks like in its stock form. So he went ahead and he did this beautiful texturing on these wooden scales that are just dynamite. Really, really dynamite. And the purchase you get when you're doing work with this thing. Now, this is a work knife. This is a bushcraft knife. This is a knife you're going to want to get a lot of purchase and a lot of grip on, okay? So he put this grip on these scales that you can't find a better grip, because when I grip it, I'm like, oh, wow, this is a game changer. You know, I could tell once I'm going to start cutting and doing anything I need to do with this piece, it's going to lock my hand in and I'm locked. I'm ready to go. And it also looks good. It also looks good. I should have got out my sheath and put it in my sheath to show you what it looks like in the sheath. As a matter of fact, stick with me, guys. Just let me grab the sheath. Hold on a minute. All right, guys, I'm back. I'm going to show you what it looks like in the sheath in a second, but just look at what he also did with the blade. This sunlight's not going to show it, right, because it's that time of the day. But he put an etching on the blade. It's almost, so to speak, like a hamon, like those blades you get at the bottom here. That's a real strong steel at the bottom. It toughens the steel at the bottom. It's like a hamon. They call it a hamon finish at the bottom. But he did this up top. This texture, this etching, this beautiful etching up top. Okay. And it just, let's see if it, just beautiful. It's wet right now. I wiped it with oil. But he put this etching up here on the blade just to give it a little flair, you know, a little touch, you know, and I love it. I think it looks fantastic. I think it's going to be fantastic. The handles are just wonderful. We'll go ahead and slip it in its sheath. Let's see what it looks like in its sheath. Now, I also, hold on, guys. I don't want to, bear with me. There you go. This is what it looks like in its sheath, guys. Really, really nice looking package here. I couldn't be happier. Just wonderful. Really, really nice. I'm going to really be happy to take this into the woods with me. Doing a little bushcrafting. And this is going to be one of my go-to bushcraft knives. Because I'm really starting to get into this. Well, I don't want to say bushcrafting. I used to do camping a lot years ago. I used to go camping a lot. Me and the guys, we just used to go in the woods, put up a tent, and camp. You know, it didn't even have to be far from home. Sometimes it was in our backyards, a couple yards in the woods, and we would just camp, build a fire. That's what young kids did, and that's where I learned all of my bushcrafting skills. You know, we just used to go in the woods and do this stuff. You know. And we used to build underground forts. You should have seen the underground forts we used to dig. We used to dig out there for weeks. Underground forts. Tree forts. We used to build triple-decker tree forts. I mean, the tree forts were ungodly. But camping was another big thing that I did as a young boy. That's what we did. And you know, I'm not that bad. I'm not that bad. I'm glad that I learned all this stuff as a youngster, you know what I mean? Because I could get by. I could do some things, you know, in the woods. I could do some things in the woods because as a youngster, we used to stay in the woods for hours. Just messing around, playing around, toying around with wood, cutting wood, you know, whatever. And this is where I learned everything. Nevertheless, this is the Condor Bushlore that Nathan from Nathan's Knives did for me. Also, last thing, I almost forgot about that. He also put an edge on this thing. Yes, he put an edge on this thing, and it is screaming. Screaming. Now, I don't know if I'm going to be able to do this in front of this darn camera, but look at this. Now, believe me, ladies and gentlemen, I know how to cut paper. Look at this. Look how sharp this blade is. Look at this thing. You don't even hear it. You don't even hear it, ladies and gentlemen. Listen. That is a sharp, sharp, sharp knife, ladies and gentlemen. Okay? Okay? So if you don't need anything less, he'll even sharpen your knife for you and put one of these edges on there for you. This thing is screaming. Screaming. Nathan, I can't thank you enough, buddy. I really can't. You know the deal, man. You know how I feel. I appreciate you, man. I appreciate everything you do. You know, you slid me in here. I know you're busy. And I just appreciate it. And I couldn't be happier. Guys, please reach out to Nathan's Knives. It's right here. Nathan's Knives. I'm telling you, he's on Instagram. He's not hard man to find. He's on YouTube. He's all around. You can't miss him. And please give the guy a follow. And most importantly, if you need any kind of work done, this is your guy right here. This is the guy you want to get with. My next piece, I didn't want to let it out of the bag, but I'm thinking about, well, I'm not thinking about it. I'm going to send them my my AD 20.5, my Demco, with those plastic scales. Those plastic scales have to go. They have to go. But anyway, guys, please reach out to Nathan's Knives. You're not going to be disappointed. He's a heck of a guy. Nice guy. Really, really nice guy. I mean, he is. Nice guy. So, that's about it. And I hope to send them many more knives. I really do. So, this is it, guys. This is the Condor Bushlore, modded by Nathan's Knives. And I couldn't be happier. Be good, be well, be safe, guys. Have a fantastic day. Be safe. And please drop me a comment. Let me know what you think about this. Please let me know. Thanks, guys. Be safe. Take care.